I said to my friend the other day, I said, you know, on this age, and we can get into debates around fitness, look, I'd rather have 80 years behind me than those 88 federal criminal counts in front of me. And so I feel very good about Joe Biden.
My message is, Gavin Newsom, I am going to expose you for the complete fraud that you are, the liar that you are, and you will never, ever be the president of this country.
California politics just went from reality TV to soap opera. And the latest star? Gavin Newsom. Only this time, the script flip came from a sheriff, not a pundit. A lawman dropped the badge for megaphone moment, exposing chaos so wild it makes Sacramento look like it's fueled by popcorn and plot twists.
Completely caused by California government. And that's the only reason why California is no longer the greatest state in the country. We have the greatest businesses, greatest people, greatest business mind, the greatest innovators, the greatest creators, the greatest entrepreneurs in the country. My wife and I were fortunate enough to go to Europe last year. We paid for a sommelier to come in and make sure that we learned everything about Italian wine and all of that stuff. The first introductions, where are you from? California, and he laughed. And he said,
California officially entered the twilight zone when a sheriff stepped into the political octagon with Gavin Newsom. No polite press release, just a blunt truth bomb that left the governor's PR team reaching for industrial strength Advil.
Proud to be governor of California. Fourth largest economy on planet Earth. Fourth largest economy in the world, $4.1 trillion. You know why? It's because of immigrants. It's because people from all around the world want to come and live their lives out loud here in California, the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. 27% of the state is foreign-born. And you talk about a state of mind for people that are foreign-born that come here for new beginnings.
It's not every day you see a sheriff turn into a cowboy commentator, tossing shade at California's slick-haired governor. But one finally had enough of watching the state unravel like a cheap sweater and said, enough.
We're just looking at each other like, how would someone across the world know that we have a lunatic for a governor? I was concerned with my career, my life, my family, my own home, and making sure that I was... The chief of police from the largest police agency in the country said that they are being overwhelmed. Governor Newsom needs to put his phone down, go sit in his house behind the comfort of his TV screen and a couch, and be quiet, because he is doing nothing.
The fallout hit hard. California's progressive paradise branding got dented like a pothole on the 405. Behind the beaches and kale smoothies, sheriffs are stuck running disaster zones disguised as cities.
Out of the way of law enforcement, he knows nothing about this. He has enabled this lawless act that is going on right now. This has been years in the making that he has encouraged. So quite frankly, I don't care what he says. He says everything in a disingenuous manner for his own personal political gain, and we are suffering.
In the middle of the chaos, Gavin Newsom struts with Hollywood hair, selling California as heaven on earth. But the sheriff tore off the glossy brochure, exposing the festering mess underneath. Crime massaged, homelessness spun, drugs ignored.
From the very beginning, the politicians, California politicians, the mayor of Los Angeles, our governor, have completely failed in that nothing was happening in the beginning. It was allowed to spiral out of control, and then they have created this narrative that completely defies facts and a timeline that we know.
The sheriff called it straight. Newsom's California is a movie set. And Californians weren't shocked, they were entertained. Memes exploded, half cheering the sheriff as Woody, half clutching soy lattes in outrage.
They keep calling it a peaceful protest, mostly peaceful, whatever they want to call it. But the reality is that law enforcement officers are being attacked, property is being destroyed, and it is out of control violence that really they're trying to deny.
Meanwhile, Newsom smiles from podiums like a dinner host bragging about wine while the kitchen burns. But this wasn't a small-town cop. This sheriff had clout, and his truth bomb rattled far beyond county lines.
On our backs, keeping us down with over-regulation, activism, appeasement of activists, instead of taking care of the majority of Californians as a whole. And it's an agenda. It is a complete agenda of making sure that government is in control of all of our lives instead of us being in control of government. And so the only reason I'm doing this is to...
Social media turned the showdown into a meme buffet. Newsom as a magician pulling crime stats out of thin air, sheriffs as influencers. But the deeper punch. This wasn't just California drama. Newsom's presidential image took a hit.
Supposed to be that government is supposed to be working for us. We are not supposed to be working to increase the size of government. And that's the only reason why California is no longer the greatest state in the country. You can have our politicians say it as much as they want, but we are the laughingstock of the rest of the country. We are the laughingstock of...
And here's Newsom's nightmare. One sheriff speaking out could become many. Lawmen talk. If more pile on, the glossy postcard collapses into a chorus saying, "The parade is over."
Just last week, the San Diego Board of County Supervisors passed an internal policy that prohibits the Sheriff's Department from cooperating with federal immigration authorities, like ICE. This comes off the heels of Governor Gavin Newsom calling for an emergency session to safeguard California's laws and values before the Trump administration takes office in January. One of the key issues at the forefront of the conversation is California's sanctuary status for undocumented immigrants. But not everyone is on board with these actions. San Diego Sheriff Kelly Martinez came out in opposition to the policy and said that she would not comply. Even though Martinez is not a conservative, she is responsible for maintaining public safety and for abiding.
For ordinary Californians, the sheriff's words were catharsis. Finally, someone confirmed the daily circus, shoplifting sprees, fentanyl overdoses, sidewalks turned camps. It wasn't exaggeration. It was validation.
And he's like, everyone wants to go to the United States, and it used to be everyone wants to go to California. Here, no one wants to go to California anymore. They'll go to California for Disneyland. That's it. And it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing that we are no longer the greatest state in the country, and we're still all the same people. We're still all the same businesses. It's our government that has completely changed and brought us to this laughingstock position, and I'm going to take it back. I take some blame for it because I wasn't standing on the rooftops yelling to everyone that we had to...
Newsom's been rehearsing for the national stage, but sheriffs carry a different weight. They're not politicians, they're boots on the ground. And when they call out the governor, people listen.
My life, my family, my own home, and making sure that I was secure, I kind of just wasn't paying attention to what government was doing, and now it's affecting everyone. So I will make sure that what I came to California for, my California dream, I will make sure that every kid growing up now has that dream, and even the kids that now are from 20 to 35, that it's impossible for them to make their California dream. I'll make sure that I make up for it, and we return the ability to look at that Gold Coast as the beacon for...
The irony. Critics didn't need spin. The sheriff's reality already sounded like satire. Rising crime, exploding homelessness, drug chaos, while Sacramento swears everything's thriving. One sheriff told a story that felt truer than Newsom's script. And that's dangerous.